Yeah, the siren's going off, Grandma. Yeah, the siren's going off. Hear it?
Yeah.
I'm filming it too. I will in a minute. Hang on a second. Yeah. In a minute we will. Yeah.
After the pole, get in the middle of the...
Got a chair?
No, but to the pole, honey.
Yeah.
I turned the air off. Turned the light off, honey.
Did you hear the siren before you stepped outside?
No. They put it on my cell phone, honey.
Huh. That's...
No, I don't know.
Maybe put something with a hard back over your head.
Well, I don't know whether you can't get in that closet, but I don't know whether you can get in this one. There's a chair there. This thing to do is you can't get down, can you?
I'll just sit in the hallway and put this over me, I guess.
Yeah, well, there's that chair there, ready to take that chair. Take that chair if you want, honey.
Yeah.
Take the chair.
Yeah. I'm gonna, because this cannot be near windows, because tornado could smash them. I don't know if it's near Galva or what.
Yeah, we don't have any. Well, I should turn the sound up.
Maybe put it on channel 6 and that'll tell you. That's what I would do if I was at my house.
Channel 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, you need to get it inside because you can see that the rain gets rather heavy. So if there are still any funnels remaining that are touching the ground, they would be very hard to see. Just as in the southern portion of the county, or the southern half of Henry County, really from 81 south of Cambridge down to Galva and Woodhull. More heavy rain, and also this area of hail in the southwestern portion of the county, which is perhaps producing hail up to 1 inch in diameter, maybe more.
Keep that up and get in the hallway now.
When we get into the purples. So in these areas, especially on the way toward Galva, Highway 34 east toward Galva.
Come on, just get in the hallway. I don't want you getting hurt.
Get the car inside, because as that hail core moves to the east, it could certainly be causing some damage as it goes. And as far as the movement, there you see just how quickly around Woodhull that portion of the storm right there starts to develop, and with it that hail core quickly develops as well. That is a very strong updraft, something that we can assume is going to happen with the warm and humid air, the very unstable air that we have.
Grandma, I think you should get in the hallway for safety.
Take a look at our tornado warning, which does include Geneseo and adjacent areas along Highway 6.
All right.
80, just down to the south, just north of Cambridge down Highway 82. Yeah, definitely a lot of rural areas here, but again, heavy. So we're not likely
Got this over
going
my
to
head.
see anything in terms of any tornado that would happen to be there. Our severe thunderstorm warning goes till 4:15, and This storm probably doing about the same, probably moving around 20 miles per hour. They are kind of dragging their heels. Just getting into the Weather Service info here to make sure that I can confirm that. And with our storm, yeah, it looks like it is moving with that eastward movement at about 15 to 20 miles per hour. So it is a slow mover, but it is possibly producing winds up to 60 miles per hour. And as far as our tornado warned storm, we're going to get a little bit more information on that from the Weather Service. This is moving in miles per hour, and again, likely just seeing one of these funnel clouds touching down. But at 3:43, confirmed tornado was located near Geneseo, about 7 miles north of Cambridge, moving to the east at 20 miles per hour. This was reported by law enforcement. They are trained spotters, so they know what they're seeing. Unfortunately, again, with the heavy rain, kind of not something that many people in that area will see, so at least the law enforcement did have eyes on it. This tornado should be near Geneseo really about now, and it would be nice to be able to find it on radar. Sometimes we can do that with more pronounced circulations. This one's just a little bit hard to see, but it just might be, as I move this forward, well, it's really tough to see because right around Geneseo, we're getting that reflectivity spike that's just kind of stuck by the Interstate 80 sign. I don't think that would necessarily
I'm going to put
tornado.
Kitty
That's
in there.
probably, and this
I
is the
would.
amazing thing about radar is probably looking at traffic.
Be careful of windows around you.
Trucks and things coming right up that chute that goes from the southeast to the northwest toward the I-80 sign south of Geneseo, probably reflecting off of trucks and things. That's why we get those spikes right along interstates, and that's exactly what we're getting here. Unfortunately, though, that precludes us from seeing any of this rotation. And again, because we're looking at a storm that was producing funnel clouds, or one of these storms that was possibly able to produce funnel clouds, and we see this a lot. It's just a matter of one of these funnel clouds finally touching down and making it to the ground. So that's why we have the tornado warning that's out to 4 o'clock, just another few minutes here. But we're going to stay with it because, again, there's more eyes on this and they do confirm it, or they still see that rotation on the ground. They'll probably extend this tornado warning. That goes till 4. But again, our severe thunderstorm warning, which might be more of a consequence to more people because of this huge hail core here running east to west. About to catch up with Highway 34 here, where it jets to the east after it gets toward Bishop Hill. That's probably more significant because it's going to affect more people with this hail. It could be anywhere from
I forgot. I gotta have her get that also.
seeing those purples. So
Want me to get it?
this as it moves to the east.
Want me to get it?
20 miles per hour.
No, I should be able to get it on there for help.
That hail core might even be a little bit quicker than we showed there. If we get that track, we'll probably put it right now at the beginning of the hail core.
Yeah,
But as we probably take off a little bit of time here, maybe 4 o'clock around Cambridge and Cambridge High School, maybe 4:10 by Weller, Bishop Hill at about 4:15 to 4:20. And again, this is just dragging its heels as it moves to the east at only 20 miles per hour. If you were watching some of our social media posts earlier today, you saw that we did see this coming from the west of the Metro Quad Cities area, just kind of blossom pretty quickly, and now it's to the south of Interstate 80 and to the north of Interstate 80, almost all the way up to Clinton. I haven't checked to see if it's made it to Clinton, but again, right now, the strongest part of the storm is in Henry County, Illinois, and there you can see that ring just to the south of Clinton. Maybe getting
I hope
into
my
the
kitties are
south
okay.
town, more up along and just north of Highway 30 from the Clinton Airport into town there, you might be getting the raindrops. But it's this southern section of the storm, which is probably a little bit more juiced because on the southern end, there's not as much storm blocking any sunlight, so it's getting sunlight, it's getting humidity and heat, and that's why this really popped up. I mean, as we look at here, we can see right here, that just pops up right in southwestern Henry County, and that updraft is very strong. So not surprising that the Weather Service did put out a special statement to say that this storm could produce some funnel clouds. I think one of those probably touched down here just south of Geneseo. That's why we have our warning. This tornado warning goes for a few more minutes until 4 o'clock, and that is literally about 4 minutes away from being expired unless more tornadoes or more funnel clouds that are observed with the storm do touch down. But our severe thunderstorm warning for the southern half of Henry County This will go till 4:15. And yeah, if you're in Weller, if you're in Galvin, if you're in Bishop Hill, I mean, this is your last few minutes, even though it's raining heavily, to get the car into the garage, because that hail core is going to probably cause some damage as it moves east along 17 and then catches up with Highway 34. Therefore, Galva, which is in the severe thunderstorm warning as well, till 4:15. And this hail core just continues to grow. Now we're getting into kind of the orange and reddish colors within that purple. We don't even often see the purple colors show up. So when we're getting a hail core like that, yeah, we can assume that we're getting hail probably in the neighborhood of an inch plus in diameter. Now, I will say that unfortunately our algorithm here overestimates the hail size on these graphics, so not so sure that we would get 2.6 inches, but with that little red core in the middle, a 2-inch diameter hailstone wouldn't surprise me. And as we see this move across southern Henry County, that is what's going to be producing perhaps some damage to crops, trees, anything really that's left outside, especially vehicles, might start picking up those little dings. So we've got that going till 4:15, and just for another few minutes here, the 4 o'clock expiration of the tornado warning. Take a look here as I leave the screen at anything that we have from the Weather Service. And yeah, pretty much what we suspected, landspout on the boundary here, the leading edge of that thunderstorm. That's what we have from the Henry County Sheriff. Could be a landspout from the Weather Service. That's their analysis of it so far. Just an update on our tornado warning. Let's see, still moving east at about 20 miles per hour. This landspout, if you will, near Geneseo. Quickly, to give you an idea of what a landspout is versus a tornado. Landspout is something that actually develops from the ground up, and as winds are rushing out of these thunderstorms, think of, and I use this analogy a lot, think of if you're in a swimming pool, probably a lot of us have been this summer, if you move your hand across the surface of the water, you get these little spinning eddies on either side of that area of water that you move. That's essentially a landspout. When we've got wind on the leading edge of these storms coming out, you say my hand is the wind that's coming out. On either side of that, you'll get these little eddies. And that's what a landspout is, and that's what was observed. Obviously connected to the ground, because that's where they begin by a Henry County Sheriff's Officer. So at 4 o'clock, this will be expired unless more landspouts are seen. And again, because the radar beam at this point is going over most of any landspout that would around Geneseo, it would be something that the radar would go over. That's why we can't really see it that well. 4 o'clock here, we're going to go to the news and certainly cover some weather for you. But at this point, the tornado warning has been allowed to expire. But before we go and throw things over to Sharon, just let you know that there is still a severe thunderstorm warning. In fact, for southern Henry County, this goes till 4:15. And again, if you're in the path of this big purple blotch, that's a hail core, and that could be producing hail around 2 inches in diameter. That will cause damage. If you're anywhere from Bishop Hill over to Galva, get the car in the garage right away, and the farther west you are, closer you have. If it's already hailing, stay inside, because that's going to be big hail, and that could cause injury. So this morning goes to 4:15. More weather coming up here as we begin our 4 o'clock news.
Live from the KWQC studio, this is TV6 News at 4.
Today at 4, the push to meet the August 31st deadline to evacuate Afghanistan results in a chaotic scene at the Kabul airport. We give you the latest. And Rock Island High School breaks ground on a new multi-million-dollar expansion to their building. We get a quick preview in just a bit. But first, as you just saw, it is a first alert day. It was for dangerous heat, but now we've got some storms around the area. Let's get right back to Eric Maitland with more details. And Henry County is kind of the focus right now, Eric.
Yeah, this one storm that popped up about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours ago, kind of dragging its heels. As we take a look, let's go over to Max 1 if we can. This thunderstorm is moving east at about 20 miles per hour, so it's a pretty slow mover. And there, as we look to the east, we can kind of see that from the back end. There's the storm, there's the warning. No tornado warning at this point, although storms like this with these fast updrafts do produce funnel clouds. What we did see was one of those funnel clouds clouds actually touching the ground near Geneseo, so we did have for a time a tornado warning. That is expired. However, our severe thunderstorm warning, and I will zoom right down into that. That goes till 4:15. I think the big trouble here will be the hail. Let's get as close in as we can here. That's from about Bishop Hill now and moving to the east toward Galva, right down Highway 17 to where it goes into 34. So this is something that you really have to be careful with, because if you're from Bishop Hill to the east toward Galva,
Yeah, it looks pretty dark out there.
Yeah, you just have a few moments.
Pretty
to get
black
that car
out
in the
there.
garage, because that could be some damaging hail, maybe 1.5 to 2.
Yeah, I was just checking the sky.
Is showing up. And again, that was just one lone storm that's popped up. Probably looking at clearing conditions as we get into the evening, and those storms to the far north and west might never make it here tonight. Now, as a result of the rain, it's really cooled some areas off. However, yes, we do have a first alert day in effect for heat, because where we have recovered from morning clouds to the 90s, we do have heat indexes that are well into the hundreds, from Kewanee to Macomb and Keokuk. Here, because of the rain, only feels like 88. It's feeling like 99 in Princeton. So there are those areas that will see the same thing.
Let's see your phone.
Of our temperatures in the 90s.
What's it say?
And Friday as well. So it looks like we'll be extending our first alert day, which right now expires at 8 p.m. tomorrow. But I think we're going to roll this right through at least Saturday, as our triple-digit heat indexes will be back with us. Remember, Southern Henry County, Illinois, severe thunderstorm warning till 4:15. Take shelter now.
Well, just in, the Secretary of State says the Taliban will allow Americans and at-risk Afghans to leave after August 31st. But the deadline still makes things risky, especially with the growing threat of ISIS-K. Isabel Rosales reports.
Heightened concerns about security around Kabul's airport.
We're operating in a hostile environment in a city and country now controlled by the Taliban, with the very real possibility of an ISIS-K attack.
The U.S. believes ISIS-K, a sworn enemy of the Taliban, wants to create mayhem at the airport. The group is capable of and planning to carry out multiple attacks, according to a U.S. defense official.
We know that ISIS-K is seeking to target the airport and attack
Yeah,
both the U.S. and allied
that was
forces
from
and
earlier.
innocent civilians.
That's one big reason President Joe Biden says he's sticking to the August 31st deadline.
Yeah, it's amazing mine didn't go off.
Major progress at the airport. 19,000 people evacuated in a period of 24 hours. But thousands of others are still waiting on a flight, including the family of a boy of the U.S. Embassy. We're not showing his face because he fears for their safety.
I'm sure that most of the people, they were left behind, and that is something that you will see that they will keep their promise, but it didn't happen.
There's outrage in Washington after 2 congressmen made an unannounced visit to Afghanistan as the U.S. military races to evacuate as many people as possible.
This is deadly serious. We do not want members to go.
The lawmakers, who are both veterans, said in a joint statement they traveled there to conduct oversight on the mission to evacuate Americans and our allies. In Washington, Isabel Rosales.
Secretary of State Antony Blinken says as many as 1,500 American citizens may still need to be evacuated from Afghanistan. Authorities are still checking what was all stolen after a break-in at a gun store this morning in rural Geneseo. The Henry County Sheriff's Office says the burglary alarm went off at 5:15 this morning at the R&T firearms store. Deputies found the vehicle rammed into the side of the business to gain entry. The owner says the vehicle was a pickup truck. Inventory of the being conducted to determine what was taken. The U.S. military is moving to mandate the COVID-19 vaccine for all service members. During today's Pentagon briefing, spokesman James Kirby said Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin determined vaccinations are necessary for the safety of service members.
He is determined, after careful consultation with medical experts and military leadership, and of course with the support of the President, that mandatory vaccination against the coronavirus disease, COVID-19, is necessary to protect the safety of our service members and our force.
According to the Pentagon, more than 800,000 service members have yet to get their shots. Among active force members, 69% are fully vaccinated. Johnson & Johnson may soon be offering a booster shot for their COVID-19 vaccine. Wednesday morning, the company released data of clinical trials showing a booster dose resulted in a 9-fold increase in antibodies. That increase was noted in participants aged 18 to 55 as well as those over 65 who received a lower booster dose. Johnson & Johnson said the study was done early in anticipation of the need for boosters. School administrators and students were on hand to watch the first shovels full of dirt move this morning for a $9.8 million expansion to Rock Island High School. The project includes renovations to the current building as well as a 38,000 square foot addition.
This isn't just Rock Island High School. This is for our community, Rock Island community. We can't wait to go to it.
The project uses revenue from the Rock Island County 1% sales tax. Renovations will move the school's administrative staff to the main entry to create a more secure entrance. The current lobby opens up to become a large student commons with study areas and even a coffee shop. And the common area will be each of the newly expanded cafeteria. Work is
a new warning that extends the first warning in Henry County here. Let me get the right frame here for you so you can see that we do now have Henry County under severe thunderstorm warning till 5 p.m. Here's what's going on. We've got that big area of blue. That's a hail core moving toward Weller and Galva and Bishop Hill, and it will also affect northern portions of Knox County. So the new severe thunderstorm warning for Henry County is till 5 o'clock. The severe thunderstorm warning for northern Knox County is until 5 o'clock. If you're in the path of this storm, could be producing some damaging hail. So bring those cars in the garage if it hasn't yet started hailing. If it has, get inside and stay away from windows.
A World War II reunion powered by social media and a power walker fueled by dad jokes. Coming up in today's Take a Look at This.
KWQC TV6.
You think I'm good yet?
Go from a roof that looks like this to a roof that looks like this in as little as one day. Get the last roof you'll ever need from Erie Metal Roofing. Our summer sizzler sale is here, and we have right now double savings. Receive $2,000 off your new Erie Metal Roofing system. Plus,
Think I should stay Hotel 5?
give us a call during this program for both $25 Visa gift card with your invoice. 1-800-966-1900. Celebrate.
If it gets bad, you'll have to come in the hallway, though. If it gets bad, you'll have to come in the hallway. Okay, I'll resume this if we get another storm. I'll resume this if there's another storm, but let's just see what happens. Bye for now. Enjoy my video. Tornado warning at my grandmother's this Wednesday, late afternoon, August 25th, 2021. Bye for now.